What are the steps in scientific method? Hi, I'm teacher Mylene. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I will discuss the steps in scientific method. But before that, let's define first the meaning of science. Science is derived from the Latin word scientia, meaning knowledge. It is a branch of knowledge or study dealing with a body of facts or truths systematically arranged. It is said to be systematic because it follows a certain steps or patterns to explain events in the natural world and make useful predictions. And that is scientific method. The scientific method is a series of steps followed to answer specific questions about the natural world. Let's discuss the steps in scientific method. Step number 1. Identifying the problem. Of course, before you come up with the best solution to your problem, you must identify first the problem. Here are some examples. How much water can a root hair absorb? Why does a plant stem bend toward the light? What effect does temperature have on heart rate? Step number 2. Gathering data. When we say data, it is the information gathered from making observations. Observations means the act or process of paying close attention to something or someone in order to gain information. We gather that information using our 5 senses: sense of hearing, tasting, smelling, seeing, and touching. What is the difference between observation and inference? We've already mentioned the meaning of observation. Now, let's proceed to inference. An inference is the conclusion you draw based on your observations. Let's have an example. Observation: the plant is extremely withered. Your inference would be the plant is extremely withered due to lack of water. Observation: the car stopped running. Inference: the car stopped running because it was out of gas. In gathering data, we have to bear in mind that there are two types of data. The quantitative data are measured of values or counts that are expressed in numbers, while qualitative data are description and involve the characteristics that cannot be counted. Let's have an example. For example, your teacher asks you to observe an oil painting. In qualitative data, you can say that the color of the painting is color blue and green, and its frame is gold. While in quantitative data, you can start saying that the picture measures 10 inches by 14 inches. In qualitative data, you can say that it is a peaceful scenery of a certain country, while in quantitative data, you can say that the frame measures 14 inches by 18 inches. When we talk about qualities that describe something, it pertains to qualitative data. When there is a number or a certain measurement, that pertains to quantitative data. Step number 3. Formulating hypothesis. Hypothesis is an idea which is suggested as a possible explanation for a particular situation or condition, but which has not yet been proven to be correct. Hypothesis is simply an educated guess. which can be a possible solution to a certain problem. Step number 4. Testing the hypothesis. How do we test hypothesis? We can test the hypothesis through experimentation. There are two variables in an experiment. The first one is the independent variable. It is a variable that is deliberately changed in an experiment. And the dependent variable is the one that is observed during an experiment. The dependent variable is the data we collect during the experiment or the result. Step number 5. Formulating conclusion. When we formulate conclusion, we use the evidences from the experiment to determine if the hypothesis is proven to be correct. And last step is verifying conclusion. Experiments must be repeated over and over, and when repeated, the result should always be the same before we come up with a valid conclusion. That's all for today. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel.